Hi, it's Jasmin. You know, that girl who did you-know-what way before the internet ever existed. Join me and my special guest every week as we talk about anything and everything because nothing is too taboo. So punch your ticket and get on board the Krazy Train with me, Jasmin St. All aboard! Welcome to a brand new episode of Krazy Train with Jasmin St. I know it's been a couple of weeks since I've, seen you guys and said anything, but it's just been so super busy with like the wrestling conventions, traveling. Plus now and again, it's nice to take a reset break. But I decided to bring you guys one of my favorite live stream guests because she's so fun and so open and so sexy. I don't know if you guys remember Miss Kitty Quinn who came on to Off the Rails, but it's definitely worth checking out on my YouTube, which you should subscribe to. But yes, here's the nice unhinged interview with the gorgeous blonde goddess, Kitty Quinn. By the way, I know we have so much in common. I just thought about you because it's like, I'm trying to figure this out, right? So a daddy or your suitor, right? Is like bitching and complaining because you're posting photos with hot guys online. Dude, stay the fuck off my social media.
Dude, I've had clients who have ghosted me recently because they know I have a partner now. I'm like, you're freaking married, bro. Why am I not allowed to be happy?
Yeah, should we contact your wife? I mean, it's just this whole gray area. I think we need to come up with a handbook. By the way, Kitty, I love your microphone. It looks like a nice pink. It looks like a nice, pretty penis, right? But
yeah, this pink cock.
But how big is that microphone?
It's big. All right, so I don't have skills like some girls do, so I can't fit my mouth over this, but I know there's someone out there who can.
No, I can't. Yeah, I can't. That reminds me of something I saw last week, except it was uncut. But anyway, so moving right along. Poor Andrew.
I want to go back.
My producer gets so shitty. He's like, he knows. And he's like, oh my God, Jasmin, I can't believe you're doing this. Yeah, I know we get wild. But this is the whole point. I mean, you're drop dead gorgeous. You are friskier than hell, I think, and kinky. But I got to ask you, what's your main focus these days career-wise? I know you have OnlyFans. And what's that been like for you as of late?
So it's crazy because I've been going through a lot of changes in the past couple months with my career because I've been in OnlyFans. I've been a cam girl for 7 years now, but the past 2 years I started doing collabs. And back in January when AVN happened, and everyone goes to AVN, plans collabs in hotel rooms, I almost got sucked into that and I woke up and I was like, no, I don't want to bang a bunch of strangers in hotel rooms. I want to be in the convention center where the producers and directors and investors and companies are and actually work. So I've come to realize that these OnlyFans collabs have not been helping me personally grow as much as I hoped. I think because I built a solo cam girl brand at first, my fans just like to see me solo. And not for anything, but a lot of these dudes I work with are crossover guys, which I love. I don't care about. But their gay fans get mad when they see videos of us together. So I'm like, this doesn't help with promotion at all. I'm not getting new fans from this.
No, they don't want you. Oh my God, no. They don't want you.
They're like, oh, a woman? They're like, you're not really gay? And I'm like, why are these people getting so mad? Porn stars do whatever they want. So I've been trying to focus on getting back into my solo groove and doing a lot of cosplay, kinky, I call it kinky cosplay because that's what makes me grow the fastest when I'm just by myself doing cosplay and masturbating.
Hey, nothing's wrong with that. Nowadays, there's this guy, when I was at the wrestling convention last week at WrestleCon, here's some crazy shit. Ready for this? So I was at the bar talking to my friend from ECW Wrestling, my friend Sign Guy Dudley. We're just sitting there having some cocktails, right, and catching up. So the night gets wilder, of course. Some jackass came over to me we were talking about Easter candy, how he likes to crack Cadbury Easter eggs and jack off with the goop in the center. And
no way, I've never heard that one.
But I like Cadbury Easter eggs, right? So he's telling me this, then some hot blonde, oh my God, I love stories about jacking off. She was this cute little perky thing and
sounds like me.
Worked for one of the wrestlers there, right? Doing his, setting up his signings. Then there's some other good-looking girl with dark hair with an older guy. You and I know what that was right away. And she's like, it's my husband. I'm like, uh-huh. Obviously, we know where they're met. And I'm not judging. I think it's great. It was just a great motley crew. And then the bartender thought I was a prostitute who took my friend's wallet, because I just took my friend's wallet off the bar to put under my ass. So
Yeah.
no one would take it. The next thing you know, I'm taking selfies with people. Then we're getting like more and more martinis brought to us. I'm like, okay, we didn't finish these. But the next day, the jack off guy comes to the table and takes a photo with me. And I find out later it's some guy that has some weird charges from jacking off under a poker table.
What? Oh, so he has a fetish for jacking.
Easter egg.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I had this cam show fan once that he was a psycho. He'd come into my public chat room and he'd want to tip me to turn on his cam and watch his cam in front of my public chat room so I could talk about it. And I usually never do that, but he gave me a huge tip. I was like, fine, whatever, I'll turn it on. This man was in a suit. I don't know where he was, if it was like Chicago, New York City, but he showed the view from his office. It's like this city. And then he shows the office door and he opens it. And he's like, that's the hallway. Anyone can walk by at any time. And then he just starts jacking off like until he comes, like waiting to get caught. And that was his excitement.
Well, did he pay you handsomely?
He did. And my chat room loved it, and everyone was like tipping more because they loved my reaction and me laughing about it and all that. So it was good for the room, but I definitely never accepted his cam tips ever again. I was like, this stresses me out. I can't do this.
Well, what do you think like makes a successful room? Because there's so many different variables. I know one girl reads Shakespeare. She reads, give me that other one. What's that one with those kids that I couldn't stand to watch? Help me. Harry Potter. She was reading Harry Potter in lingerie. What do you think makes a successful chat room for most people? That's simple.
I think the main thing, and I've learned this like even not just on my free cams or adult campsites, like even on Twitch, like non-adult websites, it's just engaging with the chat. Because like when you're sitting reading the chat messages and engaging and having good conversation, it gets everyone laughing, excited, tipping. But if you're like not engaging and you're just like on your phone or you're just like watching TV, like it's boring. So.
Really? But those guys should be used to it. Like their wives don't pay attention to them half the time. So what do they fucking care?
Well, that's the thing. There's girls who will like literally sit on their phone and like get tipped and they're like, thanks. And then people just keep tipping them. And I'm like, how come I have to like giggle and smile to get my tips? I don't just ignore people. Or maybe I just need to like start marketing to find more pay pigs and subs and like people who like femdom stuff. I don't know.
I gotta market to that. Like seriously, I wouldn't know what to do, but I just think I just have to be Jasmin. But you're just all blonde and giggly and cutesy wootsy, so they're not gonna expect you to do this. Okay, bitch, thanks. Yeah, fuck you. I hope your dick falls off. They don't want to see that from you.
That comes out of me every now and then, that's for sure. But for the most part,
get paid for it.
Yeah.
I know that before you had a podcast. So what's the story with that? Tell us about that, because I always get interested in mistressing stories and like this handbook that guys and girls need to know who are engaging in such, relationships, if that's what you want to call them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have a couple of podcasts that I'm just starting. I've been trying to like work on them the past couple months, like buying the mic. I got, the software and everything. One is with my best friend, Renna Ryan, and she's an industry girl, and she basically did a bunch of mainstream porn like 15 years ago. And then when I came out as a cam girl on my Facebook page, we knew each other from a mom group down in Florida, like a Facebook group, because I did a henna tattoo sleeve on her for a breastfeeding shoot. And so when I came out as a cam girl, she was like, guess what? I'm secretly a cam girl, and I used to do porn, and we started doing cam shows together. So we've been friends for a bunch of years. So we're starting a podcast. We just did our first test recording like yesterday. So we haven't released it yet, but soon it'll be out. And it's called MILF Moments. So it's just going to be us like talking about being moms, being in the porn industry, and we just want to banter and talk shit about all the guys in the industry. We love them, but like joke around, just talk about what it's like to be a woman in this freaking industry. So I have that one. And then I have one with my partner. I have a new partner in my life. And we haven't chose the name yet. We actually are supposed to like maybe record our first podcast this weekend. But he's a civilian and I'm not. But he's a
Hmm.
very cool civilian. He's totally cool with me doing my bookings and my adult content, and he wants to dive into all of it with me. So he's like, we should do a podcast. Or I'm like, different perspectives. I'm the civilian and I interview you in the industry, and then you can talk about it to me and all that. So both of them are pretty much like just being myself and talking about the industry and the adult stuff, mistress experiences, everything.
I think it also would give him a better understanding of how things are. I mean, it could be a really slippery slope with that, but I feel as though once he's there with you coming saying it, it's coming out of your mouth to his ears. It's a different effect than like friends telling them, "Oh, hey, well, once a porn star." Oh, you know what I mean? Because I've been through that before.
Hmm.
I don't know if it really works with civilians. I don't know. How long has this relationship been so far?
It's only a few months old, but he is
Okay.
actually diving into the stuff that I'm doing, like
Okay.
both worlds. He's like, we're making we made an OnlyFans page, and it's called Two Twisted Taboo, and it's basically a couples page for us, but we're doing all taboo scenarios. So like stepmommy, stepsister, or like boss and worker, like anything taboo. So now he's technically not a civilian anymore, but he hasn't started showing his face yet. But he's going to at some point. He just is like easing into it, and we actually have our first cuckold booking. We're gonna fuck in front of some guy while he wears a cock cage and watches in the corner, and he's not allowed to touch either of us. So,
Yeah,
so
that's
I'm excited.
Well, wait, is this going to be in person?
Yeah, and in person.
Okay, that's this
Yeah.
will be interesting. I hope he doesn't do anything crazy. You're going to check him for guns and all that stuff right before you go into this whole thing.
Oh, yeah. Anytime I meet anyone in person, I bring my
Okay,
own weapons, girl,
I'm sure
in
you
my
do. I
purse,
mean, yeah, you seem like
and
you
I
own a few
screen
guns.
people. Yeah. Hmm.
That's got to be such a weird experience. I am so with this whole OnlyFans, like the whole culture of this now, doing single girl stuff and controlling it mostly with one person. Are you going to do any more collabs with like other girls, or do we expect more of just you on your own with your significant other?
I'm just doing me on my own, and then I'm doing some collabs with him because I said since AVN, everyone's been blowing me up for collabs, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you guys, I'm done with collabs. Like, it's not helping me. Like, even with chicks, even famous chicks that I bang, it doesn't give me the growth. So the only like, I'm not doing collabs, but I do have my first Brazzers scene next weekend, so that should be like a good worth it opportunity. I'm getting paid. I'm getting my flight and hotel testing covered, and then I'm going to be put out on this like huge website that's like a major company on the earth in the world of porn. So to me, I'm excited about doing that. It's not a collab, but that pornographic like opportunity, work opportunity.
Yeah, Slava was telling me about that. So he was like, yeah, she's really excited. I mean, I don't know. Like, it's got such a different world now than when I was doing this. And testing is way different. So I know when you do collabs, and I don't know if I asked you this before, but I heard that a lot of collabs, people were not testing properly. And there were all these outbreaks here and there of things I never even heard of. With testing now, what do they do besides HIV? What's the process? So, if you're looking for the safest and coolest way to bet online and the most variety, of course, of games and like almost anything you could bet on, stop at betonline.ag because I guarantee you there is something for everyone.
There's like a whole panel for talent testing, the main industry testing that like is a verified trusted service. They test for like HIV and a bunch of other stuff like chlamydia, gonorrhea, this and that. But now they're also doing like anal and throat swabs for like MGen, whatever the hell that is. That's another reason why I don't want to do collabs because a lot of these industry people are addicts and they do drugs and have a bunch of sex, raw sex, off camera. I'm very professional. Like when I do a collab, I literally get tested the day before.
Yeah.
And a lot of these people will get tested like, oh, I just got tested 2 weeks ago. I'm like, 2 weeks? Who knows what you've done in the past 2 weeks? So I'm just like paranoid as fuck. So yeah.
Yeah, we had PCR by DNA testing. I'm afraid of needles, by the way, but I have amazingly great veins. They're big veins for a small person, but I would like jump once the needle went flying out of my arm with the butterfly needle. But they had to come to my apartment to do it then. So that's all we had. And plus, I wasn't really sexually active because we were doing only one scene a month or every other month. I was under contract. Yeah, I didn't really care for sex at that point. I think I still don't. I don't really give a shit. But
I
that's
know it
okay.
makes
So
you a little
that's,
dead inside after a while when you do it too
dude,
much.
it just depends because like I'm really picky too. So there was this guy
Mm-hmm.
at the gym and he had his shirt off. You'd appreciate this. Dude, he had like this much flab hanging over his shorts, like this much. It's like, dude, put your fucking shirt on. Like, show some respect. I wish I knew how to do those videos where like you have the facial reactions on one side and you have that because it's just like, man, come on, put your shit on.
Yeah.
And he might have been like 23, 24. I mean, he's getting up there in age, you know? And I think men fail to realize it's like dating someone, you want someone age appropriate within 20 years, right? Then you get these little boy toys. You're going to be a fucking pool boy. Look like a fucking pool boy. You look like a pool boy, not like a pool bitch that can't swim. Oh, which brings me to the next thing. You'd appreciate this one too. So I'm at the gym, this other gym that I have a membership to. There's a pool, right?
Ooh,
And it's been
nice.
warm, so I'm laying there. I see this middle-aged guy who's balding with a fucking hairy, pale chest, dude, and like a pot belly. He was the pool boy. It was horrible. I quit the
No
gym.
way.
Yeah, it was LA Fitness. I'm like, what's that filthy, weird, perverted man, like sick, weird, perverted man
That's like
doing
a
outside?
sad pool boy. That's a pool man. There
They're like,
shouldn't be
yeah, yeah,
pool
yeah.
men.
Like that's our
Only pool boys.
pool attendant. I said, dude, that is a grown man. I said, I'm pretty sure I saw a hard on in his pants. He's disturbing women with his erection.
Oh
This is
my
the
gosh,
gross
that's like,
dude.
dang. I know you guys probably have not seen this. I want to say it's the movie Grown Ups. Have
No.
y'all seen? Oh,
Uh-uh.
there's like it's Grown Ups. There's a scene where basically like they're about to do a yoga class and the teacher's like this really hot guy, but he's not there yet. So then like the janitor comes in and he's like, ladies, bend over. He's like telling them to do stuff, and then they realize he's not the teacher, and they're like, ew, get out of here, you perv. He's like, you know you liked it. I'm like, there's people like that. There's pervs. Luckily at my gym, people will look at me and then they look away. I guess because there's a whole big thing in our pop culture now about pointing out about men staring at women in gyms and stuff. So I think guys are a lot more conscious of it for the most part. But there's always a weirdo.
Or they come out and work out near you. I work out with a friend of mine, and he's cool as fuck. He calls himself Black Trash because he has like a huge pickup truck and a Trump flag. So I love him though. He's so cool. And like there's this hot guy with like his hair in the little bitch bun, but I think he's European. Like I could tell by the facial structure. And he keeps coming over and working out and working out. It's like, all right, yeah, like keep doing it. But then when they do that growing like, ugh, it's like, all right, I don't, I can't hear this anymore. It's like it's a disrespectful culture in these gyms as well.
Yeah.
So I think it's really great that your significant other doesn't mind you mistressing. So what do you think the hours are for mistresses to actually call the mister?
What, like the suitor?
Yeah, I call him the mister. Yeah, let's call him the suitor. Like, what do you? Because I
There's all
have
kinds of
no clue.
nicknames.
Yeah, they got tons of them. What do you think the hours are and the days are that we cannot call besides weekends? I think.
You know what's crazy? I was talking about this with my friend I taught her how to become a mistress and her whole life is changing. So she's happy. She loves it. But she is crushing on one of her clients and she's like, and he's single, but she's like, I know I can't just like text him. I personally never message my suitors. I let them message me first. For the most part, they're married, so I know not to message. But like even the single ones, I think, but for me, as being a mom, my kid's bedtime is 9 o'clock, so I'm like anything after 9 is disrespectful. Because I just think of like parents and dads and stuff, and like people who like like go to bed at a certain time. But I do have a couple of suitors that I could text them anytime, and sometimes they'll tell me like it's okay, you can text me, it's a burner number, it's fine, and I still get paranoid. So sometimes I'll like email them first and say, hey, I wanted to text you and just say hi. Hope you're doing good. I thought of you when I saw this today. And then they'll like text my phone. So I'm always like very careful with that. But I mean, definitely like late night, you're going to ask for trouble if you message a suitor when he might be laying down somewhere with family.
Fuck that shit. That's what homework is.
You're like, fuck that. I own that
Dude,
dick.
you gotta go wreck that home, motherfucker. Yeah, the second you're like, oh, no one cares about me, not even my own wife. It's like, you know what? I need a couple thousand extra for something I saw that I needed. The second they start mentioning the wife and how they don't care about
I hate
him
it.
and they are like ungrateful, well, I'm here giving a shit about you, so, and I have to hear this, the W word, that is so demeaning.
Right? I don't like hearing about that's the biggest turnoff ever. I'm like, don't talk about the wife. You need to be in Mistress Fantasy Land. I want to be the only woman on your mind right now. But some guys
Right?
like can't get hard because they're thinking about their wives too much and they're having so much stress about it. And then I have to be their therapist and sit them down. I'm like, all right, what's stressing you out? And then they start complaining about their wives, and I'm like, this is why you can't get hard, right? They're like, I know.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, that's when I think I feel as though that's when you got to whip out the Benadryl and like put it in their drink or something, so they go to sleep. That way
You
they
told
can't
me
think
about this trick.
Yeah, I gotta make these little pouches. It'll have Benadryl in it. It'll have eye drops. It'll have. I have to think of the perfect little kit for the mistress on the
I'm
prowl.
about to give them
Just for
some
that.
little mushroom powders so they can be all happy and laughing.
Oh, fuck that. I mean, well, I don't
Well,
know. It
yeah, because that'll
depends.
make them stay awake. That's true. Let's not. I'd rather put them. I just make them nut, and that makes them knock out.
What do you do? You make them ejaculate. But what if they can't get hard because of the wife? Like, do you want to give them the Viagra? Because it would be such a turnoff if that's all they're talking about.
Ugh, yeah, it's a turnoff. And then I just try to giggle and run around and distract them. I will sit them down and be like, let's talk for a little while. Because I'll have guys that, like, even in the middle of sex, you can tell that they're struggling and they're not all the way hard. And they're like, oh, oh. And then they're paranoid about performing for me because they think I'm this, like, young, hot porn star goddess and that I get all this better dick than them. So they're insecure about how they perform for me. Which I love my local dads. They do great, but they just, like, underestimate themselves. But I'll just
Whoa.
sit and talk to them, and then once they like talk to me about their real feelings, they're able to get hard and finish like that afterwards. So I use the talking method,
I just
which
use the
not everyone
Benadryl
can do.
method. Fuck that. I could do that too. But I just much fuck that. I'll use Benadryl. Oh, then these eye drops. These are like the best eye drops in the world. They're stronger than Benadryl.
What is that, CVS brand? I can't see what the.
No, it's Nafcon A. These are like super strong. These used to be prescription
Okay.
only in the 90s. Now, do any of the dads at your kids' schools like ever recognize you? Are there hot dads there? Any single ones? Well, not that I care, but yeah.
To be honest, I feel like a bad mom because of this, but I do not get involved with his school stuff at all. Like I've been a parent for a field trip before, but I live in Asheville, North Carolina. And Asheville, let me tell you, it's a very small city and it's a big gay town here, right? So there's tons of gay people, tons of lesbians, tons of trans, tons of drag queens, and then like all the straight people are like married couples and they're all poly and open. So actually, there is this one dad that, like, my kid has gone to school with his kid since before the elementary school, back when they used to go to preschool together. So we've known each other for years. And he tried hitting on me and asking me out. And I was like, I know your wife. I just went to your guys' house last month for a birthday party with the kids. He's like, yeah, we're poly, we're open, like everyone here in Asheville. And I'm like, I still don't want to go out with you. But there, I mean, when I drive through the drive thing, I do see there's a lot of like it's also a very hippie town up here, and there's a lot of like hippies, hipsters, skaters, grunge, a lot of tatted up people. So I do see some like handsome tatted up daddies when I'm driving through. I'm like, ooh, daddy.
Leather
But I know
daddy?
not to even. It's too small of a city to be shitting where I eat here, so I just don't even bother.
Wear a wig.
That's true.
Wear,
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
with long sleeves and then
All
and
these
like
tattoos.
just wear the long sleeves and put the shades on and the wig. You look a bit like a wacko, but it's okay. And wear a hat. Hey, daddy, they'll have
Right? In
no
the
issue
summer,
whatsoever.
I'll just wear a black turtleneck and some sunglasses.
They'll think you're suffering from depression or something. Now, I'm not sure like if this is something that you've ever thought about, but people always like swing this my way. Do you think that the internet plays a grossly huge part in the mental health issues of most creators today, like creating that false sense of value, false sense of worth, instant fame, instant fortune?
Oh, absolutely. I'm big on this. Even though I know I'm a part of it all, I'm a model, I'm on social media. It affects my work, it's my marketing. But I think it's so big because, first of all, it just changes how humans communicate with each other. Like we're afraid to just call each other now. Like, you got to text first. It's like, oh, forbidden. Don't you dare call type stuff. You know, like there's a barrier between communicating directly. And then also because of the internet, we have like memes and jokes and all this fucked up shit. So then we really don't communicate with each other in a very clear, honest way. And then I even went through it. I've noticed over the past, like, I basically the past couple months, I've been like slowly, like, I'm not gonna ever stop forever, but I was like, Kitty, like, take a break from Botox, take a break from filler, lip filler, take a break from getting eyelash extensions. Like, learn to be comfortable with who you are naturally, at least for a little while, and to save some money too, to be honest. But like, I still love all those things. I will die with Botox in my forehead. But I was like, I felt the need to like constantly like, oh, when is my next appointment? When am I going to do this and that? Because then I see other girls online and they look perfect and beautiful. And even though I forget, they're editing all their shit too. So that not all of them a lot of people that I meet online do not look the same in person. Like, a lot of these porn star chicks, I'm like, oh my God, you're like a real person. This is what you look like as a real person. So it can fuck with your head, like the visuals of everything. And the
Yeah, the
popularity
lashes
thing.
or like the fake butt implants and like the butt things they put in sometimes. Yeah, you just remind me I gotta get my lashes done. I think it's like you become a
I
slave
miss
to this
them.
business. No, I gotta do
Mm-hmm.
mine. I've just like been a few weeks. I do stuff all the time though. I'm going in for like a lower bleph in a couple of weeks, so I'll have tape under my eyes.
I want that. I'm
He's
so
one of the
excited for
best
you.
in the country. So we had to dissolve some of the filler that was there because that migrated, and then it fucks up the skin laxity. So I was going to go to Florida, and then the one doctor there didn't say anything about a pinch. So the other doctor here was Dr. Taban, Ray Taban. He's like, no, we have to do a pinch on this side because the laxity has gone down. I'm like, all right, fine. What's my downtime? A week. Okay, great. Because then after that week is done, I go to where do I go? I go to Phoenix, Arizona to go wrestling. So I'm just like, all right, well that's
Oh
fine.
my God.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, but you know, it's you got you don't want to do the whole house at once. You got to do it slowly but surely. That's what I feel
Exactly.
is the big fault. Then you see these girls, influencers. Who the fuck are you influencing? Like duck face extraordinaire? Like fucking no, seriously. Like,
Right?
what is the IQ of the people you are trying to influence? Like, how easily influenced are they by your mediocrity?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
I don't know.
like it's a lot. That's why now one thing too I've noticed too I'm trying to do with my content and my brand is be more human. I'm used to just like posting my sexy stuff, and then like when people see me on podcasts or see my live cam show, they'll be like, "Kitty, you have such a great personality. I had no clue because on your social media you don't share that side of yourself. Like, you're beautiful, but like I didn't know how funny you were and this and that." So now I'm trying to like, because especially in the age of AI and bots and like people in other countries just making fake accounts, it's like people kind of are like, some people love the AI stuff, but some people want real women to like follow and see their journey in their life. So I'm trying to like push myself to be. That's why I like was taking a break from lashes and stuff, because
Hmm.
I just like I took too long to get my lash refill, so I was making a bunch of them like come out. So I was like, I just need to take these off because I wanted to do some cosplay things that I couldn't do with the lashes, like some body paint shows, and then I'll get them in a few months. But even with like, I got a nose job once, and you can't really see it now, but like it's a little bit crooked there, and like
Fine.
sometimes in certain angles, yeah, like in
Yeah.
certain
Okay.
angles you can see it a little bit, and like for modeling photos, so it's bothered me. And my partner was like telling me, he's like, you are perfect, you're beautiful the way you are, do not change your nose just so you can like appease your fans and try to be perfect for them. He's like, in fact, it makes you like more humanizing to have like a little crookedness. So I tell myself, I'm like, yeah, just dropping a little Owen Wilson on everybody. Like, that's my brand. I got my little one thing that makes me like unique and not look like a robot like everybody else. So
He has a big nose though. It's like
it's
a hook.
big,
You don't have that.
right?
It's a really big, odd nose. Is he handsome? No, no, I don't like him. I think I don't like him because he drives a Tesla. You know, even though I
You know
like
what's
blonde,
weird? I feel like I'm not into blonde guys that much.
because you're a blonde.
Yeah, maybe that's why. I'm like, you know how that South Park joke when they say gingers have no souls? I feel that about
Yeah,
blonde guys. I'm like, they're empty. Which is
I
not
know.
true, but
Some of them are. They could be kind of like himbos. That's what I call them. It just depends. Like,
himbos.
Like,
I
what are
love
you
that.
doing for work? How old are you? Like, what do you have? You just like, I don't know. I don't know. What's your conversation? I think I dated a guy that was slightly ginger-ish, like strawberry blonde-ish. But then as time went on, I embraced the Aryanism in him, like blondish, because then his hair showed more blonde because it was summertime. I'm like, oh, you're
Oh,
a blonde.
okay.
Okay, cool. Now we can date. Anytime I dated someone that's like dark haired or dark featured, it ends up in complete um, chaos, right? So there's this guy in the Mediterranean that I see as well, and he started putting on a few pounds. I'm like, no, we can't do this. We don't do this. You should be ashamed of. He's a wrestler too. It's just it's really bad. So then he has this gut. I'm like, dude, you look like a fucking old asshole from Bulgaria with speedos on at the beach. Like you do not. You got to diet. And the thing is, if I tell him, it's just I think his weight is perfectly fine, but I'm just being a jerk off. You know what? I know what it is. I think I know what it is without having a therapist because they fired me. I think it's that when I was around porn all this time, right, in the 90s, you're going to get judged and bashed, right? Like from feature dancing, they judge you the first 3 seconds while you're on stage. So that's why I have this hang up about my body being skinny, looking this way or that way all the time. And nothing's wrong with that because it just sets a high standard for each guy you date. Because you look at the girls after that they're with, and it's a down. I'm sure it happened to you all the time. Then you look at the shit they're with now. It's
Yep.
an
Even my
insult.
current partner, he's like, I think he's God, but he's just like, no, I gotta do this and that to take care of myself. He's like, do you see what I'm dealing with? The hottest woman
Yeah.
alive. I need to like keep up. And I'm like, you know what? I appreciate that because my last two exes were like big stoners, and I'm a stay at home stoner too. I love it. But like, they were not motivated, never went to the gym, never did any grooming.
Ugh.
Like, it was so funny too because I did tell my partner, I was like, yeah, because I was joking around. I was like, yeah, I haven't told you my etiquette requirements yet. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, every time someone books me, I send a client an etiquette list. And they need to wash their ass front to back. Even though I'm going nowhere near the ass, they need to wash it. They need to floss before they brush their teeth because when people floss after, it like makes their mouth smell. They need to trim their nails and like file them so they're soft. Don't get those grubby little hands near me with sharp nails. And he was laughing. He's like, how long did you wait to finally tell me the rules? I was like, not long, but I was dying to tell you since I met you. I have rules. I have
Oh shit!
standards.
Like, yeah, well, I don't want to see no pot belly. Like, is that just the most like? I'm very big on posture. I might slack a little sometimes, but I correct myself. As dating this guy, I had like a slight posture, and then he's getting the pot belly, and just the way he walked around, his mannerisms. It's like, dude, I want to kill myself. I want to like slice my wrist because you make me so depressed. Like, it was this
Turned
bad.
off.
Oh yeah, we were living together briefly once, and then like whenever I came back from whatever, I'd see my cat and be like, "Hi, oh my god!" Then him, it's like, "Oh hey," like I was not at all excited to see him. It was like a
Yeah.
marriage, almost like, "Oh hey, what's gross?"
Right? Like, hey, my old ball and chain here eating
Yeah. Then I
Cheetos
took
on
the
the
cat, and
couch, scratching
no,
his balls.
even if he was breathing or like then I took the cat and dumped his ass. So the cat, I mean, the cat sleeps next, was always sleeping next to me anyway. So
Hmm. Yeah.
Enzo is, yeah, he doesn't give a fuck about that. Like, you don't want your cat to see a male figure in the house like that. You really don't,
Yeah. No, standards. Gotta have standards.
right? Even for the pussy. So, but that's good. That's good. So, have you ever been called out by a wife or a girlfriend ever?
One time, I don't even know if it was really. You never know. I'm in the cam girl world, so I'm convinced when people email me that they're a woman, I'm like, "Pfft, that's just a man pretending to be a woman." But supposedly, someone texted me and was like asking about meeting up, and I was like, "Oh yeah, when are we finally going to? You haven't made it happen yet." And then in that response, she told me, "Oh, this is really his wife. I was trying to see if he was meeting up with you and like trying to book a companion." And I was like, well, as you can see from my response, I haven't met him yet. And then I was just trying to ignore her because I was like, anytime if I get a message from like someone who says they're like the wife or whatever, I just don't even answer. But she kept messaging me. And like, I usually would have been like, fuck off, lady, like, fuck out of here. That's not my problem. But she was like telling me she was reading my blog, with all my erotic stories about my suitors. She's like, you write really amazing. Your relationship with your child is amazing. You sound like a good mother. She was like telling me, she's like, I'm really interested in you because I want to know what my husband likes about you so much and that's catching his eye. You know, she's like doing her research and like comparing me to her and all this stuff. And then I decided to answer her back and I gave her some advice. I was like, all right, whatever proof you're looking for, you found it. Yeah, he didn't meet me, but who knows who else he did meet and the fact that he's even looking. So you right now have to decide either you have your proof and if you want to walk away, walk away. But I'm like, if you decide to stay with him, you can't just hold on to this and keep it to yourself. If you want to stay with him, you're going to have to learn how to be like talk through it and maybe possibly be in an open relationship together one day because obviously there's needs not being met and you guys need to work them out together. And then she responded and I felt so bad. She was telling me, she's like, yeah, I've told my husband that I would, you know, have threesomes and stuff with him before, but he always said no. And I think I'm just too ugly and he's embarrassed to like have sex with other people with me. And I was like, well, sounds like you should go get some dick. I told her, I was like, well, why don't you go get some dick? He's out here getting pussy. You go. I was probably a bad influence.
Did she? That's good advice. That's sound advice. No, we appreciate that.
I don't know if she ever did. She never checked back in with me, but hopefully she like, you know, I gave her some girl advice. I was like straight up, girl to girl, he's not doing the right thing. You need to go focus on you. So I think she appreciated it. She was like, thank you so much. It's so nice to hear from you.
Yeah, go get some hot young cock somewhere. Not necessarily
Right.
young, just like I don't know, like whatever, you know. It's just I think like a part of the thing that steers men away from me is my podcast, but I don't really give a fuck because you know, imagine being that guy. Okay, pretend you're normal. Well, whatever. We are normal. Pretend you're like you don't get it, okay? Not you, Andrew, either. Pretend you
Like a
don't get it.
civilian or normie
Yes, a
civilian.
normie. No, so, yeah, something like that. And then you walk into the middle of this madness of us cackling like this, talking about this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my madness and my world of insanity and shit. No one could handle that. But I'd rather have this than be like,
Trying to behave for other people and
oh, fuck
suppress
that
your
shit. I'm
own
not going to
personality.
behave.
Yeah, like
No.
that happened to me with a client. I had my erotic story blog about my other clients and had this one client. He's in his 70s. I call him Grandpa. And he called me and he was like, I love Grandpa. Grandpa's got a lot of money. He cooks meals for
Oh,
me, feeds me chocolate and wine in the bath, gives me full body oil massages. Like he does a
what's his
lot
phone
more
number?
than like I'm like I have to send it to you afterwards. Come visit me in Asheville, meet Grandpa. But one time he called me and he told me he's like, "Wow, your writing is so amazing. Like you're a really great writer." And I was like, "Thank you." And then he admitted that he felt kind of jealous. And I was like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa. Trigger word here, jealousy." And then he was like, "No, you have to understand. I'm from a different generation and like my mom never talked to me about sex and I didn't lose my virginity till I was 22. So I'm just not used to being in this like time and age of women who are so open." And then I told him, I was like, I adore you, Grandpa, but like, you cannot book me anymore because now if you keep booking me, then I'm going to feel bad about writing my stories with other clients and I'm going to not write because I don't want to make you upset and I want you to keep booking me. And I was like, I don't want your money. I want to be me. I'd rather keep blogging. Like, you're going to have to go. So I got rid of him because he got jealous. So
whoa, 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 hold on. Tell me you have a friend. I'll give him the Jasmine
I still got his
experience.
contact.
Yeah, there'll be Benadryl involved. Say, look, I have a friend that's more tame, and we'll give him a totally different name. I had this Goomba sugar daddy, like I mean hardcore Goomba, like he's been in the news and stuff. And well, there's two funny stories. So once he got me a Louis Vuitton handbag with the wallet, and he put a bunch of cash in it. He had to leave it with the doorman at my building. Now I was out and about with my boyfriend, the real boyfriend. I was never fucking this guy, by the way. I think this is more of a fantasy of like the hope that it could happen. And the Goomba sent his conciliar to my building. This is in East Manhattan, Midtown East. And I called my friend. I said, could you just go down and pick up this package? She doesn't want to give it to anyone else. Okay, fine. The conciliar gets out. He looks like the hunchback of Notre Dame. He's speaking like this, you know. So he
Quasimodo.
goes to the doorman. The doorman is there. And he's like, hey, it's for Jasmine, you know, only for Jasmine. I'll give to anyone. Then, you know, my friend's like, no, just give it to so-and-so person. And the doorman sees like the whole like optics of it, and my friend's like this nerdy cool guy. he's like, okay. The doorman's like, David, are you okay? Like, do you need anything? It's like, no, it's fine. So then after that, I'm doing a blog about this blog. It was a blog. I had a blog spot that's still up. I had a guide to Guidos and Guidettes, right? And like, I know all my shit because I live this stuff and I hung out with it. It was cute. It was funny. He's like, I ain't no fun, I ain't no fucking dumb Guido. I ain't no. I'm like, who the fuck are you? I'm like, did I say that? I read your freaking blog. I ain't no Guido. Then he goes on social media. I was back in Scandinavia like a couple weeks later. Who's that? What the fuck? What the fuck you doing? Who's the fucking guy you going in a hot spring with in Iceland? I'm like, dude, you're married. You cannot come out here. You can't do
Yeah.
this shit. But he messaged me like last year after he got into another legal quagmire. And yeah, I mean, I don't know where he is now. I don't, I guess maybe he got in trouble again, but yeah, so he was from Corona,
Again.
Queens. Again, yeah. So it was
That's
very interesting.
wild, yeah.
That's the Goomba sugar daddy.
Getting jealous and shit. Get out of here, bro.
Ain't
People
no
think just because
fucking
they have
dumb
money that
Guido.
they can claim right to everything. Hell no.
I put a photo of Chuck Zito in that thing and he thought it was funny, right? But everything I said on there was spot on. They go to the beach. They're down the Jersey Shore this summer. They use whatever oil from a car to grease their hair back. Sometimes they use mascara to cover up the grays when they don't have like time to dye their hair. The girls go to the tanning salons. They get into a fight with another girl. They kick off the pumps. They take out the hoop bearings and they go at it. They snap their gum. Like I did hang out at the mall. Like everything about Guido culture, you can ask me. Same thing with a mullet. You probably get mullets. Did you ever have a customer with a mullet?
I have not, but there's a lot of mullet guys here in Asheville because Asheville's like a blast from the past. So
I
I'm
love
like,
it.
look at that mullet.
You gotta get photos, all right? And then we're gonna start a mullet page and start naming each mullet, like a Mexi mullet, a starter kit mullet, a
Right?
snake tail mullet. Like I can go through the list of mullets. Like you ask me anything about mullet culture, I can tell you. But mullets can't afford you.
Oh.
You'd be like, you're like the wet dream. You're like that girl in Joe Dirt. Who is it? Jamie Lee
Brandy?
Presley. Yeah,
I love
you're
Brandy.
Brandy. You're Brandy, girl. That's it. Then we got to see who do you love, and then he's there with like the mullet flowing, then his armpit hairs.
I tried to watch Joe Dirt too. It was horrible.
Wait,
So
there's a
everyone
part two?
listening, there's a Joe Dirt too. Do not watch it. It's a waste of time.
What?
You will turn it off after like 10 minutes.
Well, what happened? Did he get married to?
I I don't even remember, but I'm pretty sure he's with Brandy in the future. And it's a whole like Forrest Gump theme. Like he's sitting on a bench and starts telling someone about his story, and then it can like just go into whatever stories the writers make because they're trying to make up shit because Joe Dirt one is already done. It was just not good. But I do love the first Joe Dirt. That is my shit. And I love Brandy. And I love David Spade.
He's cute, eh? Like I think he was banging Heather Locklear at one point. I met him once. He was really nice. I think the funniest time was like meeting Andrew Dice Clay. I didn't know it was Andrew Dice Clay that was talking to me at Bed Bath and Beyond, and the guy I was dating at the time, he was like, "Don't you know who that was?" I'm like, "No, I don't fucking know." He's like, he was on Howard Stern. I was going on Stern back then a lot, so he's like, "It's Andrew Dice Clay." I'm like, "Oh, okay, whatever." Then the same day we meet Kato Kalin from the O.J. Simpson trial. I had no clue who, but he's kind of hot. Like now, I think he's hot. Back then, I don't know. I think because he was all over the news, I didn't really like him, you know. And girls thought he was hot. So when I think if someone thinks someone's really hot at the time, I don't really like them.
That's how I am. I'm so like, I don't want to be with the trends. And like, that happened to me when I was growing up with the Twilight stuff. Everyone was watching
Oh yeah.
Twilight, and I was like, fuck Twilight. And then after I graduated high school, that's when I finally read one of the books and watched the first movie. And then same thing with Game of Thrones. And everyone kept saying, Kitty, you would love Game of Thrones because you love fantasy nerdy shit and you're a cosplayer and it's like really big and trending. So you could like cosplay this stuff and it'll bring more traffic to your page. But I was like, I can't watch this shit because everyone's watching it.
Yeah, it's like I don't like the actors in it at all. Like one of them didn't know how to ride a motorcycle and was in this show that my ex wrote, Harley and the Davidsons. And his name was Buzz something. It's like, bitch, you don't even know how to ride a bike. It's like, please tell me you
Funny.
break your collarbone or something because you are a poser extraordinaire. Cosplay. What are your favorite things to cosplay?
My favorite things, well, I will say Mando Kitty is one of my favorite because that's like my Star Wars armor and helmet, and I made it from scratch myself, and people love it. And everyone knows Star Wars, even if you don't know like comic books and anime, like everyone knows Star Wars. So I love that one. I also love doing body paint cos. I'm like looking over at my closet. I'm like, what
Yeah,
else?
I'm sure.
I've got a bunch in there. What is my favorite? I don't even know. I definitely would say I do love anything like pinup or anything vampire. I can just sometimes go in my closet and just make random cosplays out of those things. But I also love body painting. So Chitara is one of my from Thundercats is one of my favorite
Hmm.
body paint cosplays to do. So it's like a little bit all over, whether it's like armor or body paint or I mean, Marilyn Monroe is a fun one for me to do because it's basically like it doesn't even feel like a cosplay. I'm like, oh, I just curl my hair and put on red lipstick and
I
I
was
can
waiting
look
for
like
that one.
Marilyn. Yeah,
I see it.
Marilyn.
I'm like, come on, come on. Where is she? Where is she? Or Jane Mansfield, but you look more like a Marilyn because of your hair. And there's a photo
Yeah.
out there, or like a painting of Marilyn with like they have it at my gym actually, where the not the oversized pool boy, but the real gym. Uh, she has like the tatted up arms and everything with her and Audrey Hepburn. It's really very
Oh, that's
dainty.
so cool. Like tied up Marilyn. I love that. That's freaking awesome.
Lifting weights. Go figure to see that. I mean, I don't know what weights were like back then or gyms were like back then. Certainly not like what it is now. That is for sure.
Right?
Um,
That's one thing. My belly, like, I lost a bunch of weight recently this past month. Like, I've basically a year ago, I got my boobs redone. Then I was laying in bed for months, ordering delivery, not working out. Now I just joined pole dance classes 3 days a week and going to the gym like 5 days a week. So now I'm like getting my abs back basically. But for a little while there, I had gained weight, which I actually loved. I had like a bigger booty and thicker thighs, and I had a little bit of a belly, which I wasn't used to, but I was starting to love it. I was like, I feel like a Renaissance painting. But when I would get insecure about my belly, everyone would bring up Marilyn Monroe. They're like, Marilyn had a round little belly. And I'm like, well, Marilyn doesn't live in 2024 where everyone's a fitness freaking influencer.
you know,
So,
Want to spice things up in the bedroom? Go to adamandeve.com. And if you'd like to get 50% off of certain items and 10 free gifts, use the code Krazy Train. Crazy with a K. Go to adamandeve.com and spice things up in the bedroom. And don't forget to use the code Krazy Train. We go to the expectation to the gym to go work out, not to see people on their equipment just sitting there, just on their fucking phone. Like this girl's looking at food recipes and she has like an ass the size of all of us times 50. I just went up to her. I said, are you using this or can I use it? Well, I'm busy on the phone. I'm like, no, I see that, but I've got things to do, people to see, places to go. So
yeah.
are you done? Yeah, you can't talk to me like that. It's like, okay, easy, easy, Chudzilla. It's cool. We're good. She went to the front desk. She called me Chudzilla. I'm like, you're sitting on the fucking phone.
Yeah.
Like looking
Like,
at
you're
food.
holding us up. Some of us are here to actually pump it.
Well, then you get people with the phones, like working out. And do you really make money from this influencer hoe? And like, if you do, then shouldn't you be paying more to use the gym?
Right? My goodness. I don't touch my phone. I put on my music and I just put my headphones in and I work out and I fuck everybody in the gym. I look around. I'm like, yeah, you're going to look at me. I'm going to look at you right in the eye.
See, that's what I do with ice cream. I make sure it's like a nice big, because there's a place down the street for ice cream. Make sure you like lick it and like stare someone, the hottest guy, straight in the eyes. I did it once, epic fail. The guy was gay. He came up to me. He's like, "Oh, sister, you are barking up the wrong tree." I'm like, "Fuck." He's
So you're
not
like,
like,
damn it. He's like, that was amusing.
he was laughing. He said that my skills were good though. So
Well, he
go
knows it.
figure.
He's like, I know that technique.
Yeah, well, where do you think I got it from? I had a lot of gay friends that would talk to me about dick and lipstick. So you learn a lot from them, you know?
Right? When I was 18, I moved out. I grew up with like a bunch of gay friends, like through my childhood and right after, like moving out with my parents. I just would go hang out with my gay friends every day and go to the gay club. And probably because I couldn't drink, I was too young, so I was like
Yeah.
the driver for them all, so they all could drink and do cocaine all night.
Oh my
And
God,
I
that
was like
sounds
the
like
good
such
girl.
a
I'm like,
night.
I'll drive you all around. You're fun and gay.
Well, they're perky and you feel
They
safe too because
are.
they don't want to fuck you. Sorry, but yeah, maybe the producer, but like not you. Um, So yeah, that's about it. I can't wait. I'm sure that some of those kids' parents are on your OnlyFans, like the dads.
Oh yeah, I've had my on my OnlyFans page, like people message me and they're like, "Oh, I go to your gym. I saw you at the gym." One guy said he saw me at Walmart. I was like, because it's small freaking city, so it's like people run into each other. You see people, and don't. I try to wear disguises when I go out. Like I'll try to wear a giant hoodie and my giant glasses and like a beanie, and people still recognize me, and I'm like, fuck.
Wait, Walmart? What are you doing at Walmart, dude?
Well, I go to there usually because I move so much. I'm trying not to anymore.
Yeah.
I have a problem with
Yeah.
breaking leases and moving. So every time I move, I'll like go buy a new toilet seat, a bunch of cleaning supplies, and like house furniture stuff, new rugs and towels for the bathroom and all that. I'm really more of a Target girl, to be honest, but Walmart for like quick house stuff when I'm moving and cleaning.
You don't know, like the gold mine you're sitting on. Target is great, but like Walmart is where you find the mullets. That's where you got to start the adventure. Like in LA, there are a few Walmarts, but they're not like not like Walmart by you. I like Cracker Barrel, by the way.
In the
But I think-
South.
yeah, this is like the perfect mullet hunt 2024. This is what we do, like a whole mullet hunt, right? Then we get Slava to shoot the grand finale. So the person with the best
Right.
mullet attributes and all gets like I don't fucking know, 3 or 4 cases of PBR. Second prize gets like
Some dip.
what? Yeah, is that what they drink?
It's like chewing tobacco stuff, the dip that they like chew and spit out.
Okay, well that's
Actually,
second prize.
It's so crazy that you're bringing up the mullet stuff because I literally was driving just yesterday and saw like this guy caught my attention because he had a mullet and it was curly too. It was like a curly mullet and I was like, "Whoa, look at that dude with a mullet!" It was so
Did
crazy.
you say anything? You start whistling at him?
I didn't. I was driving so fast, but I honestly, if I was walking, I would have been like, "Mullet dude, look at my tits."
They get shy. You can't be. Dude, mullets are really shy.
are shy,
Like
right?
they're not sure if you're messing with them or if it's being genuine. And if you do
Yeah.
that, you got to be really careful with their feelings. Am I like talking about mullets? Yeah. You got to be super. So okay, so third prize of this I think would be Fantastic Sam's like trim. They
You're
can
like, you got the prizes lined up. I like the PBR
No,
one.
I want to do this. I want to like my wet dream is to host a mullet competition.
That would be actually really dope. That would be really fun. And
We
I
have to
bet
pick,
way
like,
more
a
people
trailer
would
park.
show out for this than we realize.
Yeah, we could do. We could have like a car wash for mullets and stuff. We could do like and then raise money for like I don't fucking know for like
A mullet fundraiser.
protectthemulletfoundation.com, right? Protect the mullets. And it means that we have like a full on legal staff for them because people abuse them and make fun of their haircuts and shit. But
Yeah.
you got to protect mullet culture. Like some of them can't afford the cost of living. So it goes towards like financial things like that. Whether you're in an episode of Cops.
This is perfect.
Bitch,
There's
what
a
you
whole
fucking
culture of
do,
mullets out there.
We love you, mullets. We embrace you. We love mullets. Like, we welcome you. We want to be a part of your life.
I feel like after this podcast, I need to go on Amazon and look for a t-shirt talking about mullets now. Like, I
We
want
can
a
always
shirt.
make one on demand saying, I love mullets. Make it like a ringer shirt, like a tight one. And then wear,
Yeah.
like with you with the, like a little half top and just split it right there.
Like, crop top, I'll cut that
Dude,
shit in
you
half.
have to. That's like Jamie Lee Presley shit right there. That's you and that's your Joe Dirt.
You're like,
Your
that's
branding.
you.
A mullet tattoo on you. I love mullets.
A mullet tattoo. That's actually a good idea because I have a few spots left in my arms.
No. You don't want no. If you do that, no, you're gonna attract the wrong element.
Yeah, I'll make my
Yeah.
boyfriend jealous because he does not have a mullet. So then he'll be like, "Oh, you like mullets, huh?" And I gotta watch out for all the guys at mullets. I'm like, you gotta watch
Mullet
out for
porn.
the local dads with the beer bellies because those are the ones whose wallets I want to drain.
Yeah, not just the training between their legs. You could do mullet porn and shit.
Oh my gosh! Oh, you know what's crazy? I actually have this like mullet on my wish list. It's like a feminine looking mullet, and I was like, "Oh, this is kind of cool." Reminds me of like Miley Cyrus with the mullet look, and I was like, "I should do this one day."
That's what you do. And then you get him in his mullet, and then you make it look like a trailer park with like the Jack Daniels half empty, like some kind of trashy old like 80s lingerie with like ripped up
Right?
um stockings and like the big hair, the cheap bodice, and like a zebra striped bandana around his neck, the shades, like the cut off top, like a Bon Jovi
Yeah.
shirt.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Just do a whole mullet theme. Like throwback porn.
I'm telling you, guys love this shit. Like, we're gonna attract a subculture. You'll be like sending mullets to the cleaners with this crap. I think you should give away like a free month on your OnlyFans to a mullet, just so they feel appreciated. Like we're not mocking them.
Maybe I'm
Or
gonna
take one
post
for
this
the team.
tonight. Free trial
Yeah,
link.
dude, take one for the team. Like you might have to take one for the team.
He's like, I would love to take one for the team. I'm gonna see if I can get some mullet dudes in there and see if I can.
I don't know if I want one. I mean, not even like the rockers era mullet like Shawn Michaels, you know. Tell us about
Shawn
your love of
Michaels.
wrestling. Yeah, he used to be hot. He's like a born again Christian. Like he's a far right
Really?
wing nut job.
Okay,
Yeah,
I didn't
he's
know
like
that.
far right Christian. Yeah. No, he's far like I couldn't even take a photo with him a couple of years ago, and his assistant's like, "Oh, well, he can't take a photo with you." I'm like, "All right, well, that's a shame." You know, I said Jesus likes ass too. Um, you
I'm actually
know,
starting a merch line and making a shirt that says Jesus loves whores.
I gotta have one. I need a small, like
I will
extra
mail
small.
one to you.
I need it. Like I'll start wearing it. Can I wear it to the gym?
That's what I want to wear it. I'm like, I want to wear this in public. I want to wear it, especially here in the South, and like do a shoot right in downtown with all the people around me, and then like have like the bottom half of my boobs like under boob hanging out, and just be like, Jesus loves whores, and I'm like,
I'll wear it to the gym. I wore my Trump sneakers to the gym. I wore my mugshot t-shirt to the gym, and this is the middle of like Santa Monica. You got to see the looks. I don't know why people are giving me dirty looks. It was like not cool. It's like, fuck you. So I kept wearing it, but I met one guy at the gym who thought it was really cool, but I don't know. I think he was like, I don't know. He was like too old, but um yeah, you get like reactions. I like the reaction. It's all about the shock value and triggering people in this area because when these are like, and not to talk politics, these people are like far left progressives. When I say
yeah,
that progressive, they have no problem with a rapist being let back out in the street and giving him food and shit.
yeah.
So I'm gonna go in front of the
You're
city
like they're
council. Like,
extreme.
no, these are people that aren't like common sense. So I'm gonna go to city council later this evening. Like that Cadbury Easter egg story. So since
Yeah,
there really is a legit rapist like running around here that they let free, I am gonna go there and I'm gonna say there's a guy that's been harassing women at the bars here, telling them he wants to jerk off with a Cadbury Easter egg. So this goes to show that this part of LA is no longer safe and female friendly. You know, what are you gonna do to protect young women tourists? And I
yeah.
just want to see if they actually pick up that I might be fucking with them. It's the
It's
whole
crazy though, because
point.
whenever I have gone to LA, the few times that I have, every time I go, everyone in my life is like, Kitty, be careful. Be careful in LA.
Yeah.
Don't walk around in weird places. Watch your drinks, this and that. And I'm like, dude, I'm literally flying, going straight to my hotel room, driving straight to my shoot, going back to my hotel room. I'm not going out to bars or anything like that because like I'm not really a party person anyways, but everyone like freaks me out about how dangerous it is over there.
It could be like I think it's overrated, but you have to be more careful of like just like transients and stuff because they get away with murder here. Some guy like legit a couple of days ago, these three people that smashed and grabbed Ulta Cosmetics, like $45,000 in stuff. They went in. They had guns. They had knives. Like everything. They just got out on bail. These three. ROR, by
What?
the way. Yeah. So I said, just put books to the front of the store or diapers. They're not going to be smashing and grabbing for like basic necessities.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So it's really a weird temperature. But if you're coming out here to see Slava or something, that's a good idea. I'm sure
Yeah.
he'd love to shoot you and do all that stuff. And he's a great time to go out with. He's a fun person.
Yeah, last time I went to LA, I stayed at his place and we just shot the whole time. I was
Oh,
like,
the
I
cat.
don't want to. Yeah, the cat. But I was like, I have all these people in LA, industry people, like, let's go out, let's collab, let's party. And I was like, hell no.
I went out with Kennedy Rose. We went to have sushi and then we went to the Rainbow
Kennedy.
Bar and Grill. Yeah, then we went to drive a Ferrari up and down the Hollywood Hills because I don't go out partying. Like I'd much rather take someone somewhere fun and because she was on the show. We couldn't ride motorcycles that week, but like I'd much rather do something like that. Like that to me is more interesting.
Right? I'm like, I'd rather go for like a motorcycle ride or a hike up a cool mountain or
Yeah,
visit
yeah.
a cool ass museum rather than like go do drugs and drink all night in a club full of dangerous, crazy ass people.
Yeah, or like wackadoodles. So we could go to like Malibu to Will Rogers State Park. There's Skull Canyon to go creeping up on. Then of course,
Ooh.
if you're in Malibu, you got to go stop and eat somewhere, and that would be that's the whole thing. My favorite place in that area is this place called Patrick's Roadhouse. They have the best banana cream pie in the world and the best food ever. Ugh,
I love
it's
banana
like
cream
sickening.
pie. Banana's my favorite.
Well,
That's like
you're
my
a
favorite
Southern
flavor.
girl. You're Southern enough, I think, that like
I
it's
ain't
I
Southern
think
girl.
of
I'm
it.
from Miami, and Miami is not the South. That's like another
Oh no
country.
no! Oh no 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 no!
But yeah,
You're
I'm in
no,
the South
definitely not.
now. Well, I never
Miami.
eat banana cream pie here, but I went to Hawaii like this past month, and when I was there, I
Uh-huh.
saw banana cream pie, and I picked it up, and all the workers, they're like, "That that pie is good." I'm like, "I bet you Hawaiians are making it. It must be good."
If someone want to fuck a Hawaiian, like, could you masturbate with a cream pie as well? Like there are things you masturbate with the Cadbury cream egg, you masturbate with clean key lime pie.
And then you could
Um,
stick your dick in anything, almost.
Guys
It's
do
soft.
that shit, man. Like some of the like, okay, this guy was dating. I see his exes. It's like, bro, like what is this? Like, where do I fit into the spectrum of this? Because this is really like bashing with myself, my self worth, and my ego right now.
Right?
I don't get guys like with their decisions seriously. Um, yeah. So if people want to find your madness online, where do they find it? Tell me.
So the best places, because I'm like have all these different links, just kittyquinn.com. So kitty KITTYQUINN. Kind of like Harley Quinn, but
Hmm.
kittyquinn.com. And then my Instagram and Twitter and my TikTok and my OnlyFans, all my other platforms, it's Kitty Quinn TV. So you just add TV there on the end. My first Instagram got disabled a couple years ago, so I had to start over and add TV on there. So that's where everyone can find my craziness. I have two OnlyFans pages. I have my Instagram and Twitter. I update like every day. I love posting
Hmm.
to like my Instagram story, like funny little stories throughout my day and situations and stuff like that. And then I do live camming. I'm pretty much on my free cams, and then sometimes I get on Twitch for a little not so family friendly hangout, but a little bit less adult of a hangout.
Yeah, I could imagine, maybe the dads might like that. And what about like wrestling? Do you like pro wrestling? Because Slava said something about that you just like pro wrestling.
I do. So I grew up loving and watching WWE. Once AEW came out, I liked that because it had cussing and blood and everything. And then I used to watch
Hmm.
a little bit of NXT and New Japan Pro Wrestling. So those are some other ones that I used to watch.
Yeah, it's bloody in Japan. Like working over there, it was fucking crazy. Like you
Really?
get hit with any. Well, yeah, I worked for Big Japan, so it's just even like being a manager, like you're in the midst of the glass, the blood, shit flying at you. Like fans there have like clear ponchos on, and they wear shades sometimes in the audience. They're like young kids in the audience there. Like deathmatch
Yeah.
wrestling is more of a it's an art really, and not like a circus sideshow, which is what most people treat it as here. I think
Yeah. I
Yeah,
know people are like,
I think
wrestling's fake. I'm like, do you think their fucking broken bones and the cuts and the shit they're dealing with is fake? All right? Like, like the shit is, they're
it's
doing real
choreographed,
stunts.
girl. It's choreographed. It really is, and I
Yeah,
hate when people say
choreographed,
that.
but like, it's still real what they're doing? So I'm like, yeah, so what? There's a script. What doesn't have a script nowadays? Like, but they're really fucking performing. That shit's crazy. They're really getting the cuts.
Life has a script sometimes. You have a script when you deal with these men in a way. You got your whole like list of necessities and what they can and cannot. Do you have a do and don't list with these men?
I haven't like written down a specific list. I always tell them no Greek, which is no anal. That's my one big no. And then I've only had a couple times when some of them like try to get annoying and like text me all day, want me to send them pictures. I'm like, you can pay me to send you content, but I have no interest in sitting here texting and flirting with you, dude. Like, the hour is up. I got a life. I gotta go. So-
It's so intrusive. It's like, does your wife ignore you that much? You know, seriously, you should be like used to being ignored by your wife. So like, why do I have to pay attention to you? That's what the phone girls think when they're doing this. It's like, yeah, this is the most attention this fucker is going to have because seriously, your
Yep.
wife isn't doing it. I'm telling you, you know, it's the truth.
They need that stimulation, that mental a little conversation.
Oh, I'll give them mental stimulation. All right. I don't know how well that would go. But thanks for hopping on Crazy Train because I thought you were like, I'm like, this girl has to come onto the show because I like doing the live streams and I think there's energy and you know, some kind of like fun thing going on. So then I had to bring you on here. But I feel as though the next live stream I want with you is with your partner. And then I'm going to bring my friend Vic Lagina, who is a director for Brazzers, to come on. Even Andrew's laughing because I think it'll be a fun conversation about people that are civilians dating people in the adult business and vice versa. You'll love Vic. He's really super cool.
Yeah.
I want to bang him. Or I want to, yeah. Did I just say that? Yeah, I want to have sex with him. He knows, dude.
Oh,
Dude,
okay.
I'm sure. I don't give a shit. I could sexually harass guys on this platform because they come on here. Whether or not I do anything is another
Right.
another
Us
thing.
women
That's
definitely
like
get away with saying some stuff that men cannot get away with. So, girl power.
power to the pussy. So yeah, you got to shimmy. But yeah. So thank you. It was pleasant seeing your gorgeousness, and let us stay in touch because I'm going to bring you back on with Vic, and I want to meet your partner as well, so we could have a fun 4-way.
I would love that. That'd be fun. Thanks so much for having me back to begin with. So,
No problem. And sit tight.